friends, it is Audrey and welcome back to my studio. So I am super excited because I was asked by Shu Wen of Chu Puff Creations to take part in her Stretch Your Stamps scrapbooking series. So my challenge for this month was bold titles. So I have two different projects that I did with the theme of bold titles. So let me dive in and show you each one. So we're going to start with this one. This one is a art journal. So I've been art journaling for a very long time, but I've recently started to share it. So one night when I couldn't sleep, I came up with the idea to art journal about insomnia. Fortunately, I don't get insomnia a lot, but this whole idea came up when I couldn't sleep one night. So this will be the first one that we're going to jump into and see how it came together. So I used stamps from Ali Edwards, Coco Daisy. I used some of the comics because there was just a perfect Charlie Brown comic about sleeping. Shakespeare had a little bit of an insomnia, so I threw him in there. So we'll jump into that. So this is my art journal. So that's the first project, and the second project that I'm going to share with you is a 12 by 12. Let's see. Ooh, might have just broken my light. Oops. All right. This is a 12 by 12 scrapbooking page about my recent trip to the Harry Potter New York City store. So I used the Ali Edwards Laura Wanzik combination stamps, or combination, what am I saying? Collaboration stamps. And, well, I'll get to this part in a minute, but so when I walked into the Harry Potter store, there was a whole table set up, and the wizard who was there, who was just the person that was working there, said, "Welcome to MACUSA." So MACUSA, if you don't know, is the Magical Congress of the United States of America. So I used Laura Wanzik's shape stamp set to stamp MACUSA, and I used the Echo Park stamp set. I think it's the Echo Park, which is in Wizards Collection too, but I did get this from Click Kits to make this bold title, the Welcome to Harry Potter New York. Again, the bold title in here obviously is I need sleep and insomnia. So two different projects with bold titles. Okay, so the last thing is, what I said is, I accidentally ordered two of these stamp sets. I don't need two. It's kind of excessive. So I thought it would be really, oh, this is a little open here. Oh well. Anyway, I thought it would be really nice to give back as a thank you for coming along on this journey with me for the Stretch Your Stamps scrapbooking journey. To do a giveaway of this Ali Edwards and Laura Wanzik collaboration. So this giveaway has nothing to do, it's not connected at all to Ali Edwards Design Inc. It's not connected to Instagram, it's not connected to anything, it's just a giveaway from my own personal stash because I accidentally bought two copies of this stamp. So you can see I've got two here. This one is mine. And I don't need two, so giveaway. So look for the information on this giveaway on my Instagram page, which is @LawofCraft. All right, friends. So that is it. I'm gonna hang these out here, and without further ado, let's jump into the process for this one. This will be first. and then we'll jump into the process for this one. Thanks so much for watching, and a very huge thank you to Shu Wen of Chu Puff Creations for having me take part in her Stretcher Stamps scrapbooking series. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Okay, friends, let's dive into the art journal piece. So this is an Arteza watercolor journal, which is just watercolor paper, and I'm using Arteza watercolors in order to create a blue background. So the art journal could be as complicated or as simple as you want. It's really anything goes. It's a mixed media project using stamps and embellishments. So I'm creating a blue background to kind of mimic the night sky, since this is a layout about not being able to sleep. Okay, so now I am putting my embellishments on. As you heard me highlight or say earlier, I really liked that comic of Charlie Brown not being able to sleep. So from the newspaper. So I ripped that out of the newspaper. I also ripped some words out, since sometimes you could read a paper or something to help you sleep. And I'm just adhering them down with Mod Podge. I'm being very generous with the Mod Podge because I want this to lay flat. So there's part of the comic again. So now this is basically the part where I am embellishing the art journal with different products from my stash. An art journal is a really great way to use up products from your stash that you might have left over. So that plastic circle that I'm adhering down with red line tape is from Ali Edwards. That's a 3x4 journal card from Ali Edwards. It says my brain has too many tabs open. This is all going to my theme related to insomnia. I drew some stars in the background with my Posca or Posca paint pens, and using some of my ephemera to tell my story a little bit more. So now we're getting into the bold sentiment or bold title part of this art journal here. So the bold sentiment is insomnia and I want to sleep. I'm using an Ali Edwards stamp set from December Daily, which just shows that you can use any stamp set you want in an art journal. And December Daily stamp sets kind of extend beyond December. So insomnia and I need sleep. Those are getting put on the spine. The title is getting put on the spine of the art journal in order to make it stand out and make it more bold. And I'm using StazOn black ink because it is the one ink that I know of that is going to go on any surface. So because I use the Mod Podge, it'll go on and I don't have to worry about it coming off. Now I am finishing up the journal page with some supporting stamps, is what I'm going to call them, from different companies, Coco Daisy, Ali Edwards. So you can see me now on the right-hand side, stamping a sentiment over and over repeatedly just to make a pattern. I'm using the Z stamp I believe it was from the Rest kit from Ali Edwards, to stamp around there. I stamped Sweet Dreams. I stamped some sentiments under the I Need Sleep and under Insomnia. I try to balance each side of the page to make it more uniform and flow, but you don't really have to. It's really anything goes. So because I'm stamping directly onto the art journal page, sometimes I will mess up. So you can see that stamp in the top left corner I messed up. So I restamped it on the bottom more perfectly, and I added some stickers on top of it just to cover it up. Now I'm journaling, which is the final part of my art journal. I'm just journaling about not being able to sleep, and I just stick the journaling wherever there is space, and there you go. There's the art journal. Okay, friends, let's dive into the Makuza layout. So I started this layout by creating my letters for my bold sentiment or my bold title that's going to say, Welcome to Makuza, Harry Potter, New York City. So I started with the letter M, and I really did not like the way that letter M came out, so you'll see me redo it in a minute. And this is the benefit of stamps, is that you can make as many mistakes as you want, and you can redo things as many times as you want. So there I am making the letter M again, a different way. So I'm using two different inks, two different Distress Oxide inks in the same color family. I believe one of them is tea dye, and I forget the name of the other color, but they're both in the brown, yellowish brown family. I'm also using a VersaFine black ink and the Witches and Wizards Echo Park 2 collection to kind of define those letter stamps a little bit more. So by using that Witches and Wizards stamp, it's going to make the title a little bit more bold, make the sentiment a little stand out a little bit more, make those letters a little bit more defined, and that's going to make it more of a bold title is what I'm looking for in this layout, because I'm really looking for this word Makuza to be the star of the show. Okay, so I'm using two pieces of white paper because I'm spreading my stamps out because I'm eventually going to fussy cut those letters out to put on my patterned piece of background paper. With that Witches and Wizards Echo Park set, I am rotating between sentiment stamps and shape stamps. So, and I'm trying to match them up to the shape of the the letter. So you can see in the S, I put a wand. In the A, I am putting a broom to define the letter, but also to mix up the shapes. In the U, I put a sentiment. I clean off my stamps before I move on to the next part of my project. It's just a habit. I use Huggies magic wipes or Huggies wipes. They're not magic wipes. They're magic to me, but they're Huggies wipes. Huggies baby wipes, that's the word I'm looking for. So now I'm fussy cutting out all of the letters, and I'm leaving a very small, undefined, kind of fussy cut white border there just to even make the stamps stand out a little bit more. I'm paying attention to making sure that I cut out the shapes, but I'm not worrying a lot about cutting out the background some of the shapes, like for example, the sentiment part of the U or the cauldron part of the C. Just fussy cutting out all those, the word Makuza, and now I'm laying it out on my layout. So it's pretty much being put in the middle of the layout. That's going to be the bold title. The star of the layout is that Makuza shape word stamp shape. So I put my picture. You can see I have my 4x6 picture of me standing with the phoenix, and because the phoenix was a little cut off in that picture, I did I think it's a 3x3, and I popped that up, just a picture of the phoenix by itself, and I popped that up and I put that on the bottom. I popped it up with pop dots just to give it a little dimension, and now I'm putting down the word Makuza, popping up the picture, and getting that onto the layout. Okay, so the next part up is figuring out what embellishments I want to use once I put down this Makuza title. I'm just using a rolling 3M adhesive to put down the title. It's my go-to adhesive, although I'm not sure if they're making it anymore, so I have to find another one, but that's for another video, another time. Alright, so I'm putting down my title, and the next part is trying to figure out, oh, actually, I'm sorry. I put down my title, and now I'm finishing my title. So I'm using the Ali Edwards Laura Wanzik collaboration small letter stamp set with the different letters. and I'm stamping down welcome, and then you'll see me stamp down Harry Potter, New York City. So I wrote the word welcome to and Harry Potter, New York City on a separate piece of paper, which helps me make sure that I spell the words correctly. Because a lot of times when I'm in the zone and I'm stamping, I tend to forget how to spell. I'm sure that happens to a lot of people, happens to me. You will see down there that I also drew a line with my ruler with a pencil to make sure that uh, stamp, the stamped image on my page comes out straight. Because this is a part that you could probably cover up with an embellishment if you mess up, but you can't fussy cut it out. So I want to make sure it's perfect. Also, with this stamp set, I am looking a little bit closely at the letter because it looked like the letter R was backwards. I think it's just the style of the stamp set. It confused me a lot, so I spent a little bit of time trying to figure out if I was stamping it wrong, or if I got the wrong letter. But I think I did get it right, and ultimately it comes out nicely. I like the way it looks. So there's my full title, which I really love how it came out. Or I erased that line after. Just it's a simple line that I just erased. And okay, so now I am figuring out how I'm going to embellish it. So I'm using embellishments from Shadney and Scrap It Happy Studio. I pulled out every single embellishment, Harry Potter embellishment that I had, and I ultimately went with those two, with Shadney and Scrap It Happy Studio. So Shadney has those delightful wood veneer embellishments, and Scrap It Happy Studio is the uh, epoxy flare embellishment. So honestly, I had a hard time trying to decide what I wanted on there. I really liked that big I solemnly swear I'm up to no good embellishment, but I felt ultimately that it took away from my title. So I ended up taking it away and just putting some smaller Harry Potter circle embellishments from the Shadney shop there instead. So I just wanted to make them really simple. And I did some stars and lightning bolts and wands just in the corner of the embellishment. I ultimately decided I really wanted to keep the embellishments of this layout simple because I really wanted that MACUSA title to shine because this is a bold sentiment, bold title layout. Now I'm adding some journaling just about my experience at Harry Potter New York City, or my first time there, which is really super awesome cool, and if you're ever in New York City and you like Harry Potter, you have to go. So I did draw some lines to make sure it was straight. And now I am finishing up this layout with some sequins from my stash that I believe are from Felicity Jane, just to kind of give it a little bit more dimension, gluing them on with some tacky tape. And that is my Welcome to MACUSA Harry Potter New York City layout. Thank you everyone for joining me in this scrapbooking journey, and a huge thank you to Shu Wen for inviting me to be part of her Stretch Your Stamps scrapbooking series. Cheers, everyone.